All right, I'm Nick. Today we're going to take a few minutes. We're going to talk about this 106 PDL. I'm going to tell you one of the things I like about it the most, and it's right there. It just fits in the back of the truck so easy. All right, no bed extender needed. 2 straps. Obviously, I prefer to use these straps. You don't hurt anything. 2 straps and you're good to go, right? So that's the best part, okay? I love it. It makes life easy. We're going to go over the spec sheet real quick just so you guys have a better idea. The 106 PDL, fully assembled, that configuration right there, drive, seat. It says weighs 107 pounds, okay? 107 pounds is not that bad, okay? We're gonna unload it, we're gonna go pedal it around. I'm gonna give you my initial thoughts. Now, I already told you what I like the most about it, and that is it's like ease of transport, ease of storage. Anyone with a pickup truck, man, you can move this thing around so quick, so easy, and that part is awesome, okay? One of the things I don't like about it is, and it's really just Old Town kayaks in general, if you're a short person, the seat has to move forward. Once you move this forward, we'll say your butt is like right here instead of back here. Now you have a 18-pound drive system. That's what the sheet says on this kayak. You have your body, and now the center of the kayak is about here. That means all of the weight is in the front of the kayak, and it causes it to sit in the water like this. And it doesn't cut through the water very well. Don't mind this grass growing in the back of my truck. We just got it back from the dealership and there was some grass seed there. But the front of it is down in the water, and the front of that kayak is kind of round and it pushes into the water. It's one of the reasons it's so slow, okay? Now, if you're a taller person, you slide the seat backwards further and the weight kind of balances out a bit, okay? So that's a super nitpicky thing. I get a lot of phone calls about this, a shorter person, well, they want a shorter kayak, but maybe they're short and kind of pudgy, right? And they sit so far forward, and then they're like, man, I always have water in the kayak. It's unavoidable, okay? If you are a bigger person, you're gonna need more surface area, stuff like that, okay? So we got my favorite thing out of the way. We got the thing I like the least about it out of the way. Now I'm gonna try to unload it, and I'm just gonna turn the camera off. We'll cut to the next part where we're getting in the water, and we'll go from there. So it's unloaded. We're gonna go front to back real quick, nothing special. Obviously, drain plug, carrying handle. You have internal storage here. Just goes in there, you can't see. It goes all the way through the kayak, okay? From there, obviously the pedal drive goes in, clicks in here. You tighten these down on this bar. Hopefully it stays. You'll notice on this one, I had to go all the way to get this to touch that. A lot of times it's in this configuration, but this one had to be all the way. It is what it is. You got some tracks here. You got your C deck here. Inside here, you got some storage. I put a whistle in there. That way I can not get in trouble for being on the water real quick. Just taking it out. Side handles, seat slides forward and backwards. Obviously it's adjustable in this angle. Internal storage or internal access, which looks just like that. There's some foam underneath here to add support right here so you don't damage the kayak. This deploys the rudder, rod holder here, rod holder there, forward facing rod holder there, paddle holder. I'm not a real big fan of that. It's real easy to get it caught on stuff because on the side of the kayak, but that is the stock configuration. Things we already know, we've done this before. The kayak is super stable. It's very wide, just not very long, okay? I already know a lot of things about it. I've already been in it. I actually had a buddy, we're just gonna scratch it and push it across those rocks. Had a buddy who actually fished from this thing a lot, taller guy, so he sat further back, and he took a lot of, well, let's say a minimalist approach to going fishing. He didn't bring a bunch of stuff. It's just a small kayak that he could throw and go, okay? So, slide it over these rocks. I mean, it's a kayak, okay? You gotta scratch it eventually. And those rocks aren't gonna do too much damage. We're just gonna step in the water. The water is kind of cold. The air temperature is not. We're gonna use this paddle to push off the beach. And then we're gonna pedal across the lake real quick. That way we can get out of the wind. I don't think the wind is too bad, but it's there. All right. Drive's in place. Now this drive's never been deployed, so a lot of times this is super stiff, but if you put your foot down on it and you push down, you're good to go. All right. Oh, we got to deploy our rudder. Rudder's deployed, and we're off. We're going in reverse. First thing you guys should notice if you watched the last video, the drive is a lot easier to pedal than that EPDL. Now I did not install the scupper plugs up front. It actually comes with 2 scupper plugs. I didn't install them. And you guys can see the water wants to come through that hole. And if I lean forward, put my weight forward, I kind of missed that. Let's go back out. The water will drain out of there. Now if I lean forward, the water comes through, okay? So if you're standing up, the water's in the front. Now if I had the scupper valves in, it would prevent that to a point, but the water actually comes through here as well. And that's just a silly little thing that I like to point out, because people email and they ask, you know, why does that happen? And it's really just because all your weight is forward. Now this thing, ooh, hit something. Oh, hit something down there. Must have been some structure. Now look, this thing, it pedals really, really well. Okay, we're cruising. I don't have the GPS on it. I put a fish finder on it, but we're pedaling well. Obviously, it's super stable. We're not going anywhere. I mean, we're cruising. I can stand up, super easy. Look around. I can sight fish. I can do whatever. You guys already know I'm a big fan of this pedal system because you have the ability to use your hands to move forward a little bit or to go backwards a little bit, and that's one of the biggest benefits to me, is being able to use your hands. So let's cruise over here out of the wind. We'll do some turning over there. We already know this is a pretty good little kayak, okay? And from what I've gathered, a lot of stuff has changed in the last few years, okay, in the kayak market, but what I've gathered from the Old Town sales rep, Old Town itself, and you know, all the people we send parts to every single day, is that the 106 PDL is a super common kayak now. There was a time frame where it wasn't as common, but now it's super common. A ton of people have it. We just released the keel guards for it, and man, we sold a bunch of keel guards for 106 PDL. When we first announced the keel guards, we had a ton of people who requested it for a 106 PDL, and I just never thought that we would see that, but it's super popular, right? So I wanted to get one, make a few parts for it, and actually what I'm really interested in doing is, someone sent me a video of having an NK300 mounted back there. The kayak was doing 7 miles per hour. So I am considering buying a Newport NK300, putting it on the back of there and seeing if we can replicate that. Because if you can do 7 miles per hour with the trolling motor mounted back there in this kayak, and it's still pretty light, and it's significantly cheaper than the EPDL Plus, we might be on to something there. It's pretty exciting, okay? So 7 miles per hour is a lot better than 4.5 or 5. So I look forward to testing that out too. All right, we're getting over here. We're getting out of the wind. I'm gonna show you guys why reverse is amazing. Instant reverse is really the king of all these things. Obviously this is a spill well. We're just gonna pedal at it, and then we're gonna hit the brakes. Hope that wind isn't too bad. This is one of the things I talked about in the EPDL. When you first pedal in reverse, everything has to disengage, so you can't just stop whenever you want. But with this setup right here, you can just pedal, pedal, pedal. Oh no, I see something I don't want to hit, and go to reverse. And we stopped incredibly fast, okay? Like, that's important. It's impressive. Helps with maneuverability. We just back pedal up, say hook a big fish, we're out of there. That's what I look for in a kayak, all right? Now obviously we can turn pretty sharp, so we can just turn, pretty much do donuts around this spill well. Some kind of trail coming down that hill. Animals are predictable. Same thing every day, it looks like. So what do I think this kayak is for? That's pretty much the question that we answer all the time. I think this kayak is for easy to load, easy to unload, far more stable than something like the Salty, Old Town Salty 120 PDL. I know a lot of people who are not gonna stand up in the Salty. I was able to do it with not too much of an issue, but this right here, I mean, we could do jumping jacks. You could do anything you want to do. I'm not the guy who's gonna stand on the side of it because that's not practical. It will flip over eventually. I'm not doing that. This kayak is pretty sweet. It does a great job. It's stable. We could sight fish from it. We could pedal forward with our hands. Say we want to bump forward just a little bit. Perfect. Oh, say, oh no, we need to stop. We can back pedal just a little bit. We can stop. Easy to load, easy to unload. Say you live in an apartment. Say that you only have a small shed to store your kayak. This thing crushes it. It's only 10.5 feet long. 106 pounds, 107 pounds with the pedals. Simple math, we'll just say the driveway is 20 pounds. So we're down to what, 86, 87 pounds if we pull the pedal drive? That's not too bad. Manageable for sure. Even a smaller set of kayak wheels will let you push this kayak around, maneuver it around. If you were forced to car topping it wouldn't be a major issue because it's only, you know, once again, 80 some pounds to pull the seat off, or even lighter. For me, I'd put a simple fish finder on here, like something like a Garmin Striker 4. That way it was all lightweight, and I'd power it with a Aqua battery, which is probably, all those things are probably gonna happen. Just because the kayak would be lightweight, we'll still be able to tell what the water temperature is. Like right now, I have no idea how deep the water is, but if I had a small 4-inch fish finder, I would know. And those things are important, okay? Stable. We're rambling. I think we covered just about everything. Stable, easy to use, easy to move. What else is there, right? The price point, dang, I can't remember the price point off the top of my head, but it's much better than something like an EPDL, which is now $4 grand. And if you can put a $1,300 trolling motor, you need a battery, but you put a $1,300 trolling motor, which is super expensive, you're still way under 6K, okay? So things to consider. We will make more videos about it. We'll talk about it more. I'm gonna pedal around here for a little bit more, and I'm gonna get on out of here, and we'll come back. Maybe we'll go fishing one of these days in this thing out here or somewhere, see if we catch some fish in it. If you have any questions, leave a comment below. Thanks for watching.